where I'm psychotic, I'm toxic. I am not someone who he would ever want to procreate and have children with.
But I, like many of the others, found my knight in shining armor. I found the person that I had been asking for, manifesting for, praying for, whatever it is that you want to say. Like, that was what I'd done. And I was like, there's no way.
To really, like, decided to take off my blinders and get out of denial and really, like, realize who this guy actually was and what has been going on from day one, from the moment that he hit me up on We Plus dating app and said hello.
So you watched that video and you were most likely thinking, what a cute couple, what a nice gesture, they look so cute together. But before you start shouting God when and tapping and manifesting this kind of man, relax, because this woman is proposing to is getting embarrassed all over TikTok. So this man in the video is called Byron Hopkins, or at least that's what one of his baby mamas calls him. He has different names for different women. And allegedly, this man engages in what we call engagement and marriage scams. Like, he dates, engages or marries women, then strips them of what they have and basically ruins them emotionally before jumping to the next victim. And from the looks of it, this beautiful black woman is about to be the next victim. And this guy is not even restricted by race. I mean, he has a taste for both white and black women. And these women have come out with story times on TikTok about the heavy manipulation and lies they were subjected to while dating or being married to this man. And honestly, if this man did all of this, then this lady who just took his ring is currently engaged to the devil's right-hand man.
I am heavy on the one of the many women who have a story about that man in the video. In 2018, I met a man named Byron Hopkins, and a very quick forming crush turned into very quick, deep like, which turned into love, which turned into him being what I thought at the time was the love of my life. At the time, he was someone who, I swear to God, was everything I had hoped and prayed for in a partner. So when he asked me to marry him in August of 2019, I couldn't have said yes faster. We set a wedding date of September 2020. But as we all know, now in March of 2020, COVID hit and the world completely shut down. For context, just so you know, because of COVID, my family, we had all made a decision to quarantine together. My brother had just had his first kid, and so we didn't know how long we would end up being separated, so we all quarantined. So it was me and my fiance at the time, my mom and dad, and then my brother, his wife, and their newborn baby. What could possibly go wrong? Turns out everything. Basically, shit got real really fast, because at the end of the day, when you are a pathological, lying, narcissistic sociopath who moonlights as a con artist on the weekends, when the world gets small, it becomes very hard for you to be able to navigate in your usual conniving, devious ways. He became emotionally and verbally abusive, and I would even dare say mentally. He became very physically intimidating. And I feel like that was intentional based off of information that he had about me and my past. I started to realize that vulnerabilities that I had shared with him, intimate things about myself that I had shared with him, he was now using against me like arsenal. And before you guys all say like, okay, well, if you're having these thoughts and things aren't adding up, why didn't you just leave? To be honest, at that same time, my dad suffered a really severe stroke, and we thought we were losing him. Forward a few months, and about 45 days before what is now our new wedding date, this man got on a plane, and that was the last time I ever saw him. He called me a couple days later and basically told me he did not want to marry me. Reasons he cited were I'm psychotic, I'm toxic, I am not someone who he would ever want to procreate and have children with. It was really demeaning, really devaluing, really just like fucking mean. At the time, what I did not know was that he was already about 3 to 4 months into a relationship with a new woman. Ultimately, I ended up discovering that he had 6 children. He owed about 6 figures worth of child support debt. I was not the first, the second, the third, the fourth, nor the fifth woman. He had done some version of this too. And yes, he was still married.
Isn't it ironic that the person accusing somebody else of being psychotic and toxic is the same man who is littering the whole country with baby mamas and multiple children, abandoning them and then getting engaged to another person? Like, he didn't even have the dignity to drop the cheesy "is not you, is me" line as his reason for leaving her. He had to wreck her emotionally and psychologically and make her feel like she's the problem, when the whole time he was already 3 months into a new relationship. I mean, it's completely insane. Like, this is wickedness in an astronomical level. But then I have a problem with my gender. Why is it that oftentimes when we fall in love, we fall too deeply to the point where we completely ignore the red flags? And even when somebody tries to point it out to us, we give them every reason under the sun as to why we just can't see what they're trying to talk about. Now, the second woman coming up is the person Byron left page for. Her name is Millie, and she was warned about Byron, or whatever his name is, when she was already 5 months pregnant for this man. But like every woman in love, she still decided to stay. Now she's made a 50-something series story time about what her relationship with this narcissistic man was like. You can head over to our TikTok to watch it in full if you want, but here we are only going to see the most important clips.
So, I'm surprising my baby just because we're in West Hollywood. Yeah. Baby.
I'm gonna be on one of these times.
So that's where we're going, to Pantages. And what is playing?
Oh, you got Hamilton tickets? For real?
Yes.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
He knows all the songs. He plays the soundtracks in the car and I have to listen to it.
Ready for me to sing every
He knows
song
every
loudly?
song, every word.
Loudly?
Loves Hamilton. So I managed to snag some tickets
How?
because it's going to be done touring
Oh,
within
you're
a
the
couple of
best.
days.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
I'm
the
the best. Look at that. Oh, me?
Yes.
I'm the
singing
best
every
thing.
song so loud. So loud.
I love you.
Love you. What's going on, bro?
I know the man in this video, and when I met him, he told me his name was Caleb. 2.5 years later, I find out that he has at least 6 kids by many different women, and I ended up being number 7. I was taking care of my goddaughter, was living with me. He didn't like her. He did not. He didn't like her. She's a teenager, but like, God, how old was she at the time? I don't know, 12, 13. And he did not like her, and he definitely wanted her out of the picture. He would complain, saying that she was side-eyeing him, that she was rude, that he, if he was talking to her, that she wouldn't respond. And, you know, she's sassy, so some of the stuff that he said, I'm like, I could see like her doing that. But I should have known, because when I asked her, she made this face. Like, I can tell when she's lying, and then you can tell when she's not lying. And she just made this face like, what? Almost like, when did I do that? She's like, I always talk to him. Anywho, he wanted her out of the picture because what do you think he was trying to do? He was trying to move in with me. And I told him, I'm not moving. Like, I've never lived with a man before. So he goes, I want to marry you. I know you're the one for me. You're the perfect woman for me, the perfect person. You make me feel safe. So as soon as he said he wanted to marry me, I was like, well, then, I mean, you have to move in because there's no way I'm going to marry you and not know who you are. He told us that we're a team. And when I would say I, he was like, no, not I, we. And then we had our own email address. We were the Hopkins. And then he goes, we should have a shared account so that we can pay our bills through that. We can pay the bills through that if we have a shared account. And I'm like, how about I add you to one of my accounts? Because I wasn't that stupid. I was not about to add him to my main account.
His daughter came to visit over the summer. This is my first time meeting her. And he told me that he couldn't tell her mom, and this is the woman that he's married to, that he has a girlfriend. And so that he's going to tell her that I'm his Aunt Camille. And so I was just like, okay, because he's like, she won't send her if I tell her. So I was like, okay, no problem. So she came to visit for 2 weeks, and things were great. Like, we went to Disney, we went to, like, Legoland or SeaWorld, and of course, I paid for everything. And I also had to buy her a new wardrobe because when her mom sends her, I think it's just a way to get him to buy her clothes. So she sends her in stuff that's, like, too small. So I had to buy her a whole new wardrobe. At that time, he was also using my credit cards. And I asked him, I'm like, don't use my credit cards. Those are my cards. And he was like, well, I thought, we're a team, and what's basically, like, what's mine is his. I was like, no, those are my cards. If you want, if you just use your own cards. Yeah, even my Target card, he would use my Target card, and I loved Tabitha Brown, and he would, if he bought me anything, he would be using, like, my money to buy me things. So I essentially was buying stuff for myself. The time that his daughter was visiting us, we had to upgrade the car. So we, again, like, I'm still paying on his BMW, right? And he already got on my, my phone bill. He got his car insurance with mine, because he's like, oh, it'll probably be cheaper if I get on your phone plan. And then he asked if he could just mesh, like, his car insurance with mine, and of course, like, he never paid me. I'm like, okay, well, this is how much it's going to be. And he's like, oh yeah, no problem, no problem. He always says, like, no problem. Even if you're like, oh, this is how much it's going to cost. Oh, no problem. Like, everything's no problem, but then he never forks out any money. So we traded in his BMW and my, my Benz, and got a bigger Benz. So that way all 4 of us could fit, which is me, the baby, him, and his daughter. And so that thing was a gas guzzler. And the car note basically doubled. So the agreement was that he was going to pay for half the car note. And I was like, okay, well, you're going to have to pay for half the car note. Like, you need to get a job so you can pay for it. And he's like, oh yeah, no problem, no problem, no problem. No. Never, ever, ever, ever once paid. Because he didn't have a job, I had to go back to work 5 weeks after I had a C-section. I have 10 $100 bills rolled up, and I rubber band it in my sock drawer. I didn't tell him about the stash until maybe a year later. It's the day before Father's Day, so we're in June. And his daughter just graduated from the 6th grade, like maybe 2 weeks prior. So I'm going to take the kids to Target to get him some stuff for Father's Day. And I go to my sock drawer to get my rollout because I'm going to deposit it in the bank. And I take the rubber band off. Tell me why there's one $100 bill and then there's $85. $185. Where's my $1,000? Where is it? Y'all.
And although a lot of women are claiming that they could have never been this blindsided if they were in the same position as these women, if there's one thing I've learned in all my 28 years on this earth, is to never judge a person's situation until you experience it yourself. Because trust me when I tell you that some people have mastered the art of manipulation so well that they can intricately weave it around your mind and you will not even know that you have been put in bondage by another person. From all the stories we're hearing about this man, it's obvious that he has a successful track record of deceiving women. Like, he has experience, and he doesn't even care if he has to marry you to get what he wants. I mean, his own wife, the person who actually got the ring but did not escape the horror, will testify to how far Byron is willing to go to get what he wants.
I just didn't think I would still be his punching bag. I didn't think that I was going to be his victim. I didn't think that I was going to, be in his grasp anymore. And that is furthest from the truth. I have been one of his consistent victims. I have been one of his consistent targets. And it's been very hard for me because when I had my daughter, I had always promised that I would never keep her away from her father. I just get nothing out of that. It's not a benefit to me. I don't take pride in anything like that. So Byron has always had an open door to our daughter, and that was his way to get to me. Like, that was his way to hurt me. That was his way to abuse me still. That was his way of backing me into a corner like he used to. That was his way of saying, I'm still here, I still got you. And I met Byron, the engagement swindler, the black Tinder swindler, in 2010. I believe it was June, maybe the July timeframe. I met him at my work. He came in and we clicked. We hung out, we talked, I helped him with, whatever he needed at the time when he would stop by. And we had great conversations. He was super funny. He was attractive. He was very charming. He listened intently on what I was going through. So, the first couple times I was like, ooh, this is nice. I've never had this before, or whatever the case may be. And shortly after that, 4 months later, I became pregnant. I know, a whopping 4 months, right? But I, like many of the others, found my knight in shining armor. I found the person that I had been asking for, manifesting for, praying for, whatever it is that you want to say. That was what I'd done. But Byron moved fast. The second I met him, he was all over me. He was all over every day, wanted to hang out, slowly never left, and then eventually within a few weeks, he moved in. And then shortly after that, tried and true. Oh, it'll be cheaper if we get on the same cell phone plan, that's what we'll do. So, of course, I did that. He sinks his teeth in. He starts sucking you in. He starts putting, the claws in to where you can't just leave. You can't just back out, right? He's got you. And what Byron does is he starts to not take care of you, but he starts to take advantage of you financially. Once he's got you emotionally, once he's got your heart, your spirit, your mind in that, that's task 1. Task 2 is to drain you. He's going to drain you of everything that you have. And you'll say, oh no, I'm way better than that. I don't do that. I got this. Okay. Yeah, me too. He left me with nothing. Absolutely nothing when Byron left. And I'll dive deeper into that. But I met Byron's first wife, who was super gracious to me, is a really good friend of mine now still, and somebody who I'm very, very, very thankful for. I think back to when she reached out to me when I was 7 months pregnant and had bought myself this massive engagement ring because that made sense, right? And she just was like, he's dangerous. He's sick in the head. He does this for a living. All of the things that I'm telling Camille and Paige now. And I didn't listen. I didn't want to hear it, right? I was in my honeymoon phase. I had just found out I was pregnant, or no, not just found out, but I was getting ready to have my daughter. And life was fine. All those little hiccups that he was able to explain away, I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it, right? So I was that girl. I was that one that was like, nah, I'm good. That's my man. I can change him. We're talking about a diabolical human being that will take advantage, lie, cheat, and steal from anyone. That includes children. That includes his family. That includes his immediate friends. You are a come up to him. No more, no less. You are a pawn in his bigger game. And that is what I'm trying to let you guys know. This is not about jealousy. This is not about how ignorant I was. This is about Byron being a completely dangerous person. And we need to be aware of that. Fully.
Now that you've seen all these stories, rate your shock level from 1 to 10. How shocked are you that one person could do this much damage and not get found out until he reached his 7th or 8th woman? And you know what's more insane? This man is a motivational speaker. If that's not crazy, I don't know what is. This one shocked me. He shocked me. And I went searching for him on Instagram, but it seems he's taken down his page or hidden it somehow because I could not find it. But I did see one of his motivational videos on TikTok, and for me, it really puts into perspective why he's comfortably owing tens of thousands in child support. Oga doesn't think he owes anybody anything.
Okay, so I want to help you with something really quick.
Let me help free you up from a thought that even I had today. I'm going to help unburden this thought right now. You don't owe anyone anything. You don't owe anyone anything. And I know you're thinking, hey man, this person really helped me out. I was in a tough spot. I was in a bind here. You know, I owe it to them to do this. You owe you. You owe yourself to be better. Now, if it's a situation to where you want to apologize for something, or you want to say, you know what, thank you, and I'm sorry that you had to help me in this situation. You know what the best apology is? Change behavior. Don't put yourself in that position again. You owe you to be better. You owe you to do better. So don't worry about everybody else. Worry about you. What did they tell you on the plane? Secure your mask first before anyone else's. You don't owe anyone anything. You owe it to yourself to be better, to do better. So go do it.
This is why we need to be very careful about the kind of people we listen to online. People who ruin the lives of others and even their own lives want to sit in front of a camera and teach you how to live your own life. But where critical thinking comes in is when you realize that not everything you see on social media is real or true. And even though a man looks happy engaging the love of his life, he might be leaving a trail of 6 children and several baby mamas behind him. So guys, treat social media like a Netflix movie because 90% of the time is not real. Anyway, that's where the video ends for today. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn on your notifications if you like my commentary channel and you want to see more of my videos. Until I come your way again, take care and bye-bye.